Deep down in their own territory, Jalen Hurts has to be smart.
Pressure comes, Hurts floats it out, and he finds an excellent choice in A.J. Brown, who went up to get it for the first down at the 21, working against Tay Hayes. Hurts with pressure coming, steps away, in trouble. Hurts with Jets draped all over him, throws to the sideline for A.J. Brown.
Davis 21 when they think it's going to be a run.
First down and 10. Hurts back to the air. Smith with the catch. Twisted down at the 42 by Michael Carter II. Time to welcome in the third member of our crew.
That's rough.
Second down and a short one for Swift, who will get the first down.
Here comes the personnel mix-up. There's the two running backs right there, flanking Hurts.
A.J. Brown in motion. The play fake and the toss to Boston Scott. Down the sideline and shoved out of bounds by Tony Adams. He said he's got the ability to make you miss and accelerate like Jamal Charles. Here's a swing to his tight end. Working up the sideline is Dallas Goedert. Close to another first down for the Eagles. Hurts going to run a design quarterback draw, trying to get to the edge, and Hurts down at the 3. 4th and goal. Empty backfield. Hurts on the keep. Hurts will not get there.
Oh, I don't know.
Did he lean in late? The Jets say he stopped. The Eagles say touchdown. The officials are signaling the play dead. Let's wait and see.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback had the ball in control, broke the plane of the goal line while his body was up, not down by contact. It's going to be a touchdown.
They brought the house against Zach Wilson last time. Let's see what they do.
And on second down, good hold on to by Garrett Wilson as he got stuck by Reed Blankenship. A 6-yard gain and a Jets first down. 2nd and 8. Cook burst up the middle, and Dalvin Cook hops close to a Jets first down.
And then here comes the new personnel. Here's 13, 3 tight ends, all at the end of the line of scrimmage.
And off the play fake, Wilson to the air. High throw, but going up to get it is Garrett Wilson. And another first down as the Jets are on the move to the Eagle 37, a pickup of 15. Out of the empty set, Wilson ducks away from pressure, now going to run. Zach Wilson diving towards the first down. Nakobe Dean to cover him up, but a good scramble by Zach Wilson.
Switch there. We got to keep going forward.
3rd and 13. Wilson on the roll to the sideline, wide of Hardman, the intended target. 5 of 5 last week for the Jets. And Zuerlein just sneaks that one through on the left side. First 19-play scoring drive since week 17 of 2018 for Philadelphia. From the 25 on first down, lots of time to throw, and over the middle finds A.J. Brown, who 2 steps his way to the 39-yard line, a pickup of 14 and a first.
What blitzing defenders.
On 3rd and 5, 4-man rush, Hurts to throw, caught by A.J. Brown. So strong, just able to pull that through traffic.
They've gotten pressure on him, but they just haven't been able to corral him in the backfield.
4 new Jets on the field, really rotating personnel, and here they bring the house towards Hurts. The pass is deflected and intercepted. Quinnen Williams, big man on the run to the 45-yard line. 2nd and 13 at the 47 of Philadelphia. Wilson, pressure comes, in trouble, and Wilson goes down. On 4th and 5. Eagles pressure picked up. Wilson flushed. On the run, throws towards the sticks. The catch is made by Tyler Conklin, but it looks like he's short of the first down.
Take 2 guys out of this route for us and clear it up for underneath routes.
2nd and 10, Swift out of the backfield. He'll tiptoe up the sideline for an Eagles first down.
There he is in the slot up top.
2nd down and 9. Here's Brown, first down inside the 35. Breaking tackles to the 30, and Brown down the sideline. Looking for a block, a little nudge inside the 10, and out of bounds, 1st and goal inside the 5.
This red zone's got to be cleaned up.
2nd and goal. Hurts throws. Swift, a little juggle, breaks the tackle, touchdown! That's what happens when you're 21 years old versus, older.
Thank you, Kevin. Good save.
Yeah. 2nd and 10, over the middle, finds Conklin, and Conklin, blasting through contact, gets the first down near the 40-yard line. First down and 10 after the completion to Conklin. Jets will run the end around, looking for a little
blocker.
Xavier Gipson. Gipson with the blocker in front, and Gipson out of bounds in Eagles territory at the 42-yard line. First down and 10 at the 43. Wilson has time, checks it down to Hall. Breece Hall up the sideline, and Hall inside the 20 before he's knocked out of bounds by Blankenship.
Whose real estate is that?
First third down of the drive. They're 0 for 3 on third today. Wilson in trouble, and he's sacked. Jordan Davis dropping Zach Wilson at the 24.
Being the mountain of a man that he is, to reset that line of scrimmage back in the backfield, and you see what happens when he gets pressure.
Zuerlein on for a 42-yard try. This one with a little less drama than his first, as it's down the middle. From the 25-yard line, all 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning to work with. So an eternity for Jalen Hurts as they try to double up. The pitch to Scott on the edge, and Boston Scott with good speed and a good run on first down as he goes out of bounds after a 9-yard pickup. 2 minutes to go, all 3 timeouts left for the Eagles. The swing to Goddard gets around a little bit of traffic, and Goddard's going to get the first down shoved out at the 37, but a flag down in the backfield.
Exactly right. Family show.
First and 10 at the 47. Jets rush 4. Swift, the recipient. The ball is out. A fumble. Juggled. Still loose on the field. Who has it? Quincy Williams. Again, Eagles have not allowed a point off any of their turnovers this year, but Garrett Wilson on the receiving end of that Zach Wilson dart.
Here it comes.
Pressure picked up. Wilson throws low. The catch made by Garrett Wilson.
I love the play design on those inside routes versus outside leverage. 2nd
and 1. Breece Hall with the carry. First down to the 12. Timeout used by Robert Saleh. 2nd down and 20. Wilson to the air, deflected and almost intercepted. Nakobe Dean trying to contort his body. And Zuerlein's kick is good, and halftime arrives with the Eagles leading the Jets 14-9. He's held his own so far. 1st and 10 at the 25. Off the play action, sets up the tight end screen to Goddard, able to get away from traffic, and Goddard up the sideline with a stiff arm and a first down. 8 catches, 117 yards a week ago. Gaping hole for Swift, and Swift picks up 11. On 2nd down and short, Hurts, a little wobbler to Goddard, who makes the low grab and has a first down at the 44-yard line.
The Jets have to generate something.
Hurts on 1st and 15. Excellent protection. Over the middle, in and out of the hands of Devontae Smith. Oh my goodness. Hurts, pressure coming, and he's sacked. Blasting to the cornerback was Bryce Huff. He went straight from the 7. Wilson going down the sideline for Garrett Wilson. Makes the adjustment and the grab. Garrett Wilson pulls it down at the 40-yard line. A pickup of 33.
They give you some breathing room.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. The toss. And looking for room is Breece Hall, just tripped up after a 10-yard gain at midfield. Reed Blankenship swipes the ankles out from under Hall as he gets the first. I'm just a half-yard shy of the first down, so 9.5 yards, which means Wilson, little shovel pass, a pitch forward to Breece Hall. And Hall with a first down this time at the 36-yard line.
Deal just completely hit this offense.
3rd and 23, over the middle to Breece Hall. Hall to the 40 and down to the 39.
He ain't running the draw again. Okay.
4-man rush. In trouble. Hurts backs up to the end zone. On the run, buying time. Hurts throws, incomplete. Trying to fit it in to Kenneth Gainwell. Bryce Hall out there on the coverage.
crucial third down. You're going to get a little extra presence out here by Conklin.
On 3rd and 7, it's Lazard with the catch of the first down. Hall. Upfield first down. That little spin bought him some space from Nicholas Morrow to get the 3 yards he needed. Cobb in motion. Play action. Wilson in trouble, and he takes a huge sack. Hassan Reddick, his 2nd sack of the day. He's hit 3 today. This from 38. And Zuerlein's kick brings the Jets to within 2.
I mean, come on.
Hurts. Pocket collapsing. He's in trouble. Or is he? Dancing free. Throws on the run. Devontae Smith comes back to make the catch. Who'd you compare him to? Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
That kind of looked like Russell Wilson. Hurts keeps it again. Hurts finds running room and a first down. Hurts in trouble. A wobbler as he's hit, and it's intercepted. Bryce Hall with the pick. That pressure came late, forced a floater, and Hall with the interception. Get the 3rd Eagles turnover, and they go to work. Zach Wilson wants to go deep. Instead, he goes down. Josh Sweat. No Sweat for his 3rd sack of the year.
They mount up on you, and they add up. It makes it tough.
3rd and 6 from the 22. Hurts airing it deep for A.J. Brown, and Brown pulls it in. Did he get his feet in? He did! A teardrop from Jalen Hurts, and it lands in the gloved hands of A.J. Brown. It's Gainwell. Much more traditional run, but Gainwell with good yardage, fighting his way down. If it's flag football, he's down 2 yards before, but he's got the first down. 3rd down. Hurts. Flushed again, and this time the Jets get him. At the 20-yard line, Bryce Huff, for the 2nd time today, able to pull Jalen Hurts to the turf.
What a monster play on 3rd down by this Jets defense.
37-yard try for Jake Elliott, drifting right, and it's no good.
This game, and trust your defense. Whatever it takes, you need points.
On 2nd down, pressure comes. He gets rid of it. Working for yardage to the first down, Jeremy Ruckert gets enough to the 38 to move the chain.
He's got to be smart. Just steal a completion.
They rush 4. Reddick gets to him again in the sack. Williams cleaned it up as Hassan Reddick put the pressure on Zach Wilson once more. 2nd down and 7. Burst up the middle and a first down for Swift.
Easier said than done.
3rd and 7. Late pressure. Hurts hit as he throws. Complete. First down. Dallas Goedert gets the first down to the Philly 45. 3rd and 9 at the 46. Hurts facing a 4-man rush over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Adams. Adams on the run. Breaking tackles. Tossed down inside the 10. We welcome those of you who are watching Arizona and the Rams on 1st down into the end zone. Breece Hall in for the touchdown, and the Jets take the lead. Wilson looking to the end zone. The 2-point try is good. Randall Cobb gets up and flexes after the big hit.
Give it a 4th and manageable.
3rd and 10. Hurts checks it short. Devontae Smith tackled in bounds. It's 4th down. 4th and 8. They rush 3. Spying Hurts, who's airing it deep, looking for Devontae Smith. Underthrown, broken up by Jordan Whitehead. The Jets defense delivers again. And the season is reborn for the New York Jets. Their first win against the Eagles in the history of the franchise, and they do it 20-14.